Hello everyone. Today I will explain these four things and other more things. So let's start. Rolling. The large stones are rolled along the bed of the river. Bouncing. The smaller pebbles are bounced along the bed of the river. Suspension. Light material like sand and silt are carried along in the water. Solution. Dissolved materials are carried along by the river. Landforms of the mature stage. In the mature stage, the river begins to slow down and so it begins to deposit some of its load. It creates the following features: wide river valley, meanders, flood plain. Landforms of the mature stage. Wider river valley. In the mature stage, the river moves from side to side and the valley becomes wide and flat. Weathering and mass movement continue to wear at the sides of the valley. See diagram. Wider valley in the mature stage of the river. Gentler slope on the valley slides. Flat flow developing, mass movement, erosion. Landforms of the mature stage. Meanders. Meanders are bends or curves along the river. They are formed by erosion and deposition. Erosion occurs on one side of the river while deposition occurs on the opposite side. This continues making the bend sharper. See diagrams. These are the diagrams of meander. Landforms of the mature stage. Flood plain. A flood plain is the flat area of land on either side of the river. After heavy rain, the river sometimes floods. The water spreads out over the land on either side of the river. When the river retreats, it leaves behind a thin layer of alluvium. After many floods, a thick layer of alluvium is created. This is very fertile soil. The old stage. In the old stage, the river is carrying lots of sand and silt. It is now flowing over flat land and so it is moving slowly. Therefore, it begins to drop off its load. This is called deposition. Like erosion, in the youthful stage, deposition also creates many features or landforms. Landforms of the old stage. The following features or landforms are created by deposition in the old stage: oxbow lakes, leaves, delta. Landforms of the old stage. Oxbow lakes. An oxbow lake is a horseshoe shaped lake found beside a river. Oxbow lakes are formed when continued erosion and deposition create very pronounced meander. Eventually, the river cuts through the neck of the meander. Deposition then occurs, which leaves the oxbow lake separated from the river. How an oxbow lake is made. See. Landforms of the old stage. Levees. Levees are raised banks of deposit materials found along the banks of the river. When the river floods and spreads out over the floodplain, the heaviest material is deposited close to there. Over time and after many periods of flooding, this deposited materials forms levees along the bank of the river. Landforms of the old stage. Delta. A delta is a triangular shaped piece of land which is formed at the mouth of the river. As the river enters the sea, it drops off all the remaining material it is carrying. These materials build up to form new land. The river is forced to break up into smaller channels called distributaries. Delta forming at the mouth of a river. Note the other features of an old river. Rivers and people. Rivers have always been important for people. In the past, people settled near a river as it provided them with food, water, defense, and an easy method of transport. Nowadays, people try to control rivers to prevent flooding, for irrigation, to create electricity, and to create improved transport links. Rivers are also important for tourism and leisure. Hydroelectric power. Engineers build dams across the river. They can then control the flow of water in the river. They release the water and use its power to turn large turbines. Turning these turbines creates power which is used to generate electricity. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.